Happy International Women's Day. My name is Kesha Christie and I am a storyteller. I would like to share this folktale with you from the Dominican Republic. It answers the question of who rules the house. The story is called Who Rules the Roost. In a small town in the Dominican Republic, there were two friends. They were both merchants. Jose sold yucca and corn, and Francisco sold yams. The two would get together on a daily basis and talk about this, that, and the other thing. One day, Jose posed a question. He said to his friend, "You know something, Francisco? From way back, the beginning of time, way back to when Christopher Columbus discovered Hispaniola, to right up to today's day, I believe one thing. The woman is the ruler of the house." "Oh, no, 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 no," Francisco said. "Jose, you are wrong. You are dead wrong. The woman cannot rule the house. The man is the ruler and the woman just cackles." Well, this argument lasted some time. Day in and day out, they argued the same thing. One day, the argument became so heated that Jose decided he would have to fix this. "My friend, we can argue about this until Judgment Day comes, but we will not find the answer. There is only one way to find the answer." Francisco was listening. Jose said, "We are going to take 12 of my horses and 12 of your cows, and we are going to go from house to house to house. And when we find out who is the ruler, if it is the man, we give a horse. If it is the woman, we give a cow. Good?" Francisco thought about this. Yes, it's a good idea, he agreed. And the very next morning, Jose stood with his 12 horses and Francisco stood with his 12 cows. And they began their journey. Before they reached the first house, they knew who the ruler was. The wife was yelling at her husband for leaving the gate unlocked and letting the pig get out overnight. Well, they knocked on the door and Francisco gave the cow. They walked down a bit further down the road, and before they reached the house, they knew who was the ruler. The woman was screaming at her husband and saying, "Make sure you bring back a loaf of bread and don't try to argue with me." Well, they knew. Francisco knocked on the door and gave a cow. They continued going from house to house to house, and Francisco continued to give and give and give. Well, Jose's smile grew bigger and bigger, and Francisco's face dropped lower and lower. Well, Jose had 12 horses, and Francisco had one cow. When they got to the judge's house. Now the judge ruled over all the crime in the town. He even had words to say about politics and governing and all kinds of things. So he must be the master of his house. Well, Jose and Francisco went to knock on his door. Hello, buenos dias, senor." And they proceeded to explain to the judge what they were doing, how they went from house to house to house, and Francisco gave out cow after cow after cow, but they're hoping that this house would be different. Well, the judge had answered the door, but his wife wasn't home. So he confidently told the men that he was the master of his house, and that he set that in place from the first day of his marriage. He made it known that he was the master, and anything he says goes. The men were so relieved. Jose said, "Even though I'm going to lose a horse, it is worth it." And well, Francisco started to smile because he would get to keep his cow. Well, Jose said, Senor, you have access. Pick any one of my 12 horses. Oh, the judge said, must be my lucky day. And he started to examine the horses. Oh, this black one. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, but this brown one, strong, firm. Oh, the spotted one. Oh, wow, looking good. And he walked around the horses and he said, the decision is really hard to make. And he walked around some more. Then he finally said to himself, I am not good at these things. The person who is good at these things? I tell you, my wife is the best horse picker around. If we wait until she comes home, we can let her pick the horse that she likes best so that I know I've picked the right horse. Jose looked at the judge. Father in heaven, he said. You too? Francisco looked at Jose, looked at the judge, and didn't say a word. He gave the judge the cow. And there it was. Jose had 12 horses, and Francisco had no cows. They learned that day that in the Dominican Republic and all around the world, the ruler of the house is the woman. Thanks for listening.